With only a few short weeks left to wait, Lightfall is nearly here. It's set to add plenty of new content and features as well as shake up what we already have. From Neptune to Guardian ranks to a complete overhaul of the build crafting system, there's plenty to be excited about. But one of the biggest things to catch my attention is the new ways we'll be able to stun champions through certain abilities rather than seasonal mods. I've seen plenty of people talk about the legendary and exotic weapons that will work with this system, but with Grandmaster Nightfalls now more accessible than ever and Lost Sector farming still being an option, terrible, painful option, but an option nonetheless. What better time to jump into one of those two activities and fill your loadout with some shiny new toys? Here's every piece of exotic armor you need to have for Lightfall. Before we get started, if you want to know which ability stuns what champion, either look at this image real quick or check the description for a link to the article. But I'll save a lot of time and repeat myself a lot less if I just pretend that you all know what's happening. And as a quick reminder, slow stuns overloads, but applying enough stacks can cause a freeze, which can stun unstoppables. So the majority of stasis abilities are capable of both, as long as you're willing to combo, or leave the enemy in the slow long enough. Hunters, you're up first. Afri's Embrace empowers a weighted throwing knife after rapid precision hits, allowing it to stun unstoppables. It's not anything new, but some people often overlook it. Now you know. Bombardiers cause an explosion when dodge rolling that changes its element and effect depending on the subclass you're using. Void will suppress nearby enemies and Stasis will slow. Either of these effects will stun an Overload champion. On Arc, the bomb will blind to stun unstoppables. Caliban's Hand will cause an instant ignition when a proximity knife gets a kill, though I believe the ignition needs to happen on the unstoppable itself to stun. You can pair it with Ember of Char to help with that. You also have increased melee regen until it detonates, so pairing it with Ember of Torches helps become radiant for stunning barriers. Gerfalcon's Hauberk, or however you say it, gives volatile rounds after leaving invisibility for a short duration, giving you a consistent way to deal with barriers using any void weapon. Liar's Handshake doesn't do much for ability regen, but it will give you some extra damage and health when using Disorientating Blow to stun unstoppables or Tempest Strike to stun overloads. Lucky Raspberry improves the chain of Arc Bolt grenades, and has a chance to recharge it when it deals damage. Combine this with Spark of Shock to potentially stun multiple overloads at once. You can combine Mask of Bakris with Winter's Shroud to stun overloads when dodging nearby. Bakris not only give you a bit of space with its teleport dodge, but you'll also deal increased damage to slowed targets for a short period afterwards, letting you deal heavy damage to the overload. Ophidius Spaith gives you an extra knife throw, combined with Ember of Torches to consistently activate Radiant and stun barrier champions. Renewal Grasps increases the radius of Duskfield grenades while providing a damage resist to allies, and reduce damage from enemies. This makes it a great tool for stunning overloads. Shinobu's Vow will give you a bonus skip grenade charge and returns energy when dealing damage. Combine with Spark of Shock to stun overloads. Sixth Coyote grants a second dodge charge. On Solar, you can use this with Acrobat's Dodge for Radiant against barriers. Gambler's Dodge with Ember of Torches works too. On Arc, combine with Gambler's Dodge and Disorientating Blow to stun unstoppables, or Tempest Strike to stun overloads. Lastly, on Stasis, combine with Gambler's Dodge to use your melee to stun overloads, or with Winter's Shroud as another option. Radiant Dance Machines can do everything Six Coyote can, just more frequently when nearby enemies, so it's a little more risky to pull off, but still works. Finally, Young Ahamkara's Spine increases the damage, radius, and regen speed of tripwire grenades. Not much on its own, but using it on an enemy that has already been scorched will allow for slightly more consistent ignitions. Next up, Warlocks. Apotheosis Veil and Eye of Another World increases grenade, melee, and rift regen energy speeds. While the regen rate isn't too good for either in my opinion, it still helps for dealing with all three champs. Claws of Ahamkara grant an additional melee charge on all subclasses, allowing for more consistent melee abilities. On Solo with Ember of Torches, this can stun barriers with Radiant. On Arc, you can combine this with Chain Lightning or Lightning Surge to stun overloads with Jolt. And on Stasis, you can use it to stun unstoppables with Freeze. The Void melee does have Volatile, but you specifically need Volatile rounds to stun barriers. Crown of Tempests recharges your ability on Jolt and Arc ability final blows. Combine this with Chain Lightning, Lightning Surge, or Spark of Shock to stun overloads with Jolt. You can also run Flashbang Grenades to stun unstoppables with Blind. Fallen Sunstar improves energy granted from Ionic Traces, but can be used to improve all the same abilities as Crown. Controverse Hold returns grenade energy when hitting enemies with charged grenades. This can really help when getting void grenade kills with Echo of Instability to stun barriers. Dawn Chorus grants melee energy on Scorch, helping activate Radiant with Ember of Torches to stun barriers. It also allows Daybreak projectiles to apply Scorch, allowing it to create ignitions to stun unstoppables. Netherrex Sin increases Void ability regen after Void kills. Combine this with Void grenades and Echo of Instability to stun barriers with volatile rounds. You can also use Suppressor grenades to stun overloads. Nothing Manacles improves Scatter grenades tracking, allowing you to more easily trigger Echo of Instability. It also gives you a bonus charge for more consistency. Osmiomancy Gloves gives Cold Snap grenades a bonus charge and faster regen, allowing you to more consistently stun unstoppables. Combine this with Bleak Watcher to create more turrets capable of stunning overloads and unstoppables. Phoenix Protocol returns super energy on kills in Well of Radiance. Well of Radiance grants Radiant, allowing you to stun barriers. Rain of Fire makes you Radiant after any kill with a fusion or linear fusion rifle, allowing you to stun barriers. Starfire Protocol grants an additional charge for fusion grenades, as well as faster recharge when in an empowering rift. This can create easy ignitions to stun unstoppables. Sunbracers grant a period of infinite solar grenades after a solar melee kill, while also increasing their duration. Like Starfire, use this to stun unstoppables with ignitions. Second Filaments allow void empowering rifts to grant anti-overload to anyone standing inside. And finally, Verity's Brow grants improved grenade damage and regen rate after weapon kills of the same element. This helps with Echo of Instability for stunning barriers, Spark of Shock, Bleak Watcher, Suppressor or Duskfield grenades for stunning overloads, and lastly, Flashbang grenades, Cold Snap grenades, or any solar grenades capable of triggering ignitions to stun unstoppables. Finally, we move on to Titans. Armamentarium grants an extra grenade charge, combined with Echo of Instability for volatile rounds to stun barriers, Spark of Shock, Suppressor grenades, or Duskfield grenades for stunning overloads, and Flashbang grenades, Cold Snap grenades, or any solar grenades capable of triggering ignitions to stun unstoppables. An insurmountable Skull Fort fully returns your arc melee on kill, allowing you to have Seismic Strike ready more often to stun unstoppables. Ashen Wake grants fusion grenade energy on kill and causes them to detonate on impact, allowing for easier ignitions to stun unstoppables. Heart of Inmost Light grants increased ability regeneration and damage across the board, making it a great option for stunning all three. Mask of the Quiet One also increases ability regeneration, but it's currently not strong. Hallowfire Heart improves solar ability regen, especially when your super is charged. Combine with Ember of Torches to activate Radiant on melee kills, allowing you to stun barriers. It also allows for more consistent ignitions for stunning unstoppables, especially when combined with Consecration. Helm of Saint 14 allows your Ward of Dawn to blind enemies. Assuming the specific version of blind counts, you can use this to stun unstoppables. Icefall Mantle replaces your barricade for a slowing overshield, which can stun overloads. The MK44 Standardicides returns melee energy on hit for a Shield Bash, Seismic Strike, and Hammer Strike. Shield Bash suppresses targets for stunning overloads. Seismic Strike blinds targets to stun unstoppables. Hammer Strike can also stun unstoppables with Scorch, but it's better off combined with Ember of Torches for getting Radiant to stun barriers. No Backup Plans grants void melee energy on shotgun kills. Combine this with Shield Bash to stun overloads. Phoenix Cradle increases the duration of Soul Invictus, allowing for more ability regen to stun barriers and unstoppables. And finally, Second Chance allows a shield throw to stun barriers, while also granting an additional charge. It should go without saying, but any future exotics or reworks involving these abilities or increased ability regen can also be used as well. There's also probably a fair few exotics or combinations that I either didn't think of or didn't want to mention. Stuff like how some abilities, fragments, and mods can generate energy for other abilities, depending on how you create your build. If I went over absolutely every possible combination, I doubt I'd get this video out before Lightfall, as I'd just be sitting here listing full builds. Speaking of builds, let's talk about Destiny Workshop, as well as the channel as a whole. If you don't care for this stuff, this is your cue to leave. Thanks for coming. First off, a massive thank you from both me and Parker for all the love and support you've shown to the channel over the last few days. It's absolutely insane to think that before our previous video we had less than 100 subscribers, and now we've reached over 700. Incredible. We truly can't thank you all enough, and we're both so glad you're enjoying the content. Workshop is still going to be on pause until Lightfall launches, but I'm super excited to start work on the next episode once the new system is live. But I'm thinking I might live stream that process here on the channel. I can't guarantee it'll be a regular thing, but we'll see how it goes. Some of you have suggested some really great ideas on the previous 2 videos, so a live stream would allow us to work together on future builds. I'm also tempted to live stream my playthrough of the Lightfall campaign, and possibly my first ever day 1 raid, so let me know if those ideas interest you in the comments below. In other news, we have a Discord! Well, technically we've had one for a while, but I didn't really bother advertising it in too many videos. But we've got some pretty cool people in there already, so why not join? Come hang out, chat about stuff, maybe get some sneak peeks at some upcoming videos. We even have an LFG. There's a link in the description of most of our videos, but I'll also leave a pinned comment on this one. Finally, me and Parker have been hard at work on 2 new videos coming soon, and I'm very excited for you to see them both. They're very different from anything we've done on the channel so far, so hopefully you look forward to them. That's all from me today though. I've been your host Mallow, and thank you for watching the Starcade.